Neuhardt here to talk about the basics of personal injury cases. I want to talk about the terminology that's used because it's important that you understand it and be able to use it yourself, or at least at a minimum understand what an attorney or anyone else is talking about. First thing you should know is, what is a personal injury? Personal injury case is where someone was at fault, and I'm going to talk about auto accidents. Someone was at fault, we call it negligence, for the auto accident. The victim in the auto accident case may have been injured, or they may have been killed. And when someone is killed, unfortunately, in an accident case, it's referred to as a wrongful death case. The second concept I want to talk about is property damage. Almost invariably, when you have an auto accident case, there was property damage involved. Either your car was damaged or the other party's car was damaged, or there was what's called damage to property, which would be like a house, a pole, or something of the like. I mentioned property damage because sometimes people have a pet that's in an automobile when the automobile is in an accident, and the pet is actually referred to as property. Although this sounds cruel and bizarre, it's the way it is. When there's only property damage in an auto accident, then you probably don't need to hire an attorney. However, if you get into a dispute with the insurance company over the value of your car, for example, that was wrecked or totaled in the auto accident, then you may need to talk to an attorney. It's important to note that when you have both property damage and personal injury in a case, that the two may be divided and settled separately. So it's frequently simpler to settle the damage portion of your case, property damage portion of your case, and then leave the personal injury case separate and fully recover from your injuries and settle that at a later date. It's important to note that for personal injury that you may suffer from long-term injuries or disability and emotional trauma from an auto accident, and these may take years or to resolve, or may not ever resolve themselves. Most property damage cases are settled based on repair estimates or if the vehicle is totaled. It's important to find out what the law is regarding the replacement value of your vehicle. Sometimes an insurance company will offer what's called the trade-in value for your vehicle, which is basically the wholesale value. However, you are entitled to what's called the replacement value in the state of Montana. The next concept I want to discuss is called negligence. There are technical distinctions between negligence and who is at fault for an accident. It's important to distinguish between these two to get them clear in your mind. It's important to know that negligence is not black and white. Even though you may have been partially at fault for an accident, it's still possible to file a claim with an insurance company for compensation of your injuries. A lot of people don't know or understand this, but it's important to find out. Related to this is an important point that negligence can be distributed among multiple parties, such as the person that was primarily at fault for the auto accident, and possibly yourself, and maybe someone else too. So you can still potentially